it's no big deal. I mean, I'm not.
You gonna
like
tell me from a
hey.
Bro,
listen.
I'm telling you right now, stop! Put your hands up! I swear to God, stop!
Most officers imagine in their career they may have to discharge their sidearm in the line of duty. Those of us who have done it know how challenging it can be to deal with a situation where your life flashes before your eyes. But very rarely do we think that it's going to happen during what starts off as a misdemeanor car stop and ends up in us discharging our sidearm while hanging from the side of a moving vehicle. This is one of those. So we can see that the officer, if you look in the rear of the SUV's vehicle, you can see where the officer's lights are illuminated, even though we don't hear sound. So we know that the officer is attempting to conduct the car stop. When we do that, we're projecting where the vehicle is going to end up. And it is my guess that the officer wants the vehicle on the right side in that grassy knoll area to the right, but the driver is pulled to the left side of the road.
Pull to the right side, please.
So good thing is that the officer has the wherewithal to utilize his PA system and tell the driver to pull to the right side of the road. Very safe way to do it, and he got the driver to move to the right side of the road. So we can see that the officer, when he stopped the vehicle, that he positioned his vehicle very, very purposefully with the 45-degree angle turn. We saw him turn his wheel to get the vehicle positioned safely. Very good stuff.
Howdy. You mind putting down the back window, please, for me? All right, awesome.
So this is really good. The officer is telling the driver to put down the back window before he approaches, and we see how he approaches. He's cautious when we look at the dash cam. It's really concerning when the driver looks back this intently at us or looks back that intently at the officer. Most people don't do that. Most people usually just put their head straight, maybe peek back once and keep their head straight forward. When they look back that intently, it's very concerning. And I would almost always have them put their hands on their steering wheel at that point.
Deputy Blazer, Seminole County Sheriff's Office. Before I ask you any information, the reason I'm pulling you over is because your windows up here way too dark per statute. Okay. So if you could do me a favor, just roll this window about halfway up. That's good. Right there. So in the state of Florida, the front window can be 25%, back window can be 15%, okay? The lower the number, the darker the tint. Your front window is measuring at 3%, okay? So
I thought it went by the back one. I thought.
No. So as you can see, 3. What that means is only 3% of the outside ambient light is getting through your window. Okay, that's why they do that way. Do you have your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance? You can put this back down for me.
That was an incredibly educational piece of information that the officer did. He's really versed in understanding this law. It's a really good PC for a stop, and he explained it very well. A lot of people didn't even necessarily know it to that degree. However, from a tactical perspective, there's one thing that I'd like to mention, is that utilizing our dominant hand, our gun hand, as opposed to our support hand for the majority of manipulating a device, it creates a challenge. You've seen videos of me that I have talked about of myself where there have been times where I have my dominant hand occupied. It's just something to take into consideration. Young aspiring officers, practice and learn to be as ambidextrous as you possibly can and increase the dexterity of your support hand.
How's it going this morning?
What's that?
How's it going this morning, bro?
Living the dream.
I seen that.
Living the dream.
What the hell happened? I seen you on the trail looking like what the hell happened?
2513. $1038, please.
So I'm not 100% sure if that was a code requesting an additional unit. I'm cautious to just make that assumption, but if you know that code and it was, please in the comment section chime in, because I always like to know when an additional unit is requested. That has a lot to do with how things a lot of times play out on a call.
Rocky Money Rudolph Jr.
Yes, sir.
That name is awesome. That's probably, in 14 years, that is probably the best name I've seen.
Now, if you didn't catch that, and if he did that intentionally, super high level, very cool thing. Because what did he do? He was very kind, polite, let him know about his name, but he mentioned that he has 14 years on. And that says something. That says, I'm not a rookie, I have experience. This isn't my first time to the rodeo. Very good way to slide in the fact that you're experienced, you're prepared. I like it a lot, and I hope that he did it intentionally.
This is the application for a certificate of title.
Yeah.
This
is not like
is the registration right here.
Okay.
It's saying it's I guess your birthday's probably on the 5th, is it? Yeah. So ultimately it's technically expired, but we don't cite for that. There's case law that says it goes to the end of the month. So you need to get that changed.
Yeah, well,
right?
I'm doing this new project down here, the homeless community thing they doing.
Okay.
I'm building that there, working down there, building on that and stuff.
Okay.
So I be through the area all the time.
All right.
Okay, something I want to mention here is that when we're standing at the vehicle in this manner and we have both of our hands occupied in this position, it creates a bit of a safety challenge. But the thing that I'd like to say is that when we have a license, a driver license, or some other paperwork, tucking it inside the belt is an option. Keeps potentially one or two of your hands free if necessary. Or sometimes I see officers, they'll have a little clip here. They just clip it in and then hands are kept free. Keep your hands as free as much as you possibly can. This is his stop. I get it. He's got 14 years of experience. He likes to do it this way. This is something that I'm mentioning as options for young aspiring officers.
Well, yeah, make sure you get that updated. And do you have the insurance card?
Cause I did it over the phone and they supposed to fax everything over. And they sent it to my baby mama address and I ain't been dealing with her. I got to probably go by there and get it.
Do you have an app or anything? You should be able to get it on an app if you've got you sign into the app.
Yeah.
I just gotta check and make sure it's good.
That's good. I just hate that sucker.
Why are you nervous?
Oh, she was caught.
Huh?
No, ain't no reason. I just got bad nerve. I ain't got no reason to be nervous. So. Just my nerves.
What's that?
Just I got bad nerves. So.
Okay. There's no need to be nervous, man.
Yeah, man. 'Cause I was wondering, you know, like, what the hell I did. I thought it was the light or something. Looking like, no, I ain't running the light.
10.
Yeah.
Here we have the officer saying that he believes that he's nervous. And I want to talk about nervousness a bit. If a person gets pulled over by the police, there's going to be a degree of nervousness. But there are certain indicators that police officers look for that are higher degrees of nervousness than normal. And some people are just normally a little bit more nervous. But again, on the stop, the officer is taking in so much more than we're taking in on this video. This is just a small sliver of every one of his senses that are being tantalized by every single thing that goes on here while he's conducting police work.
It's a pet peeve of mine. I was just trying to see where you were going because it's seriously unsafe to be pulling cars over there, man. So I don't never do it.
That's what I was wondering. Like,
I try and follow somebody until they get in a safe area.
Oh, okay.
For me,
okay.
You know, and then I attempt to stop.
This hate sucker. No, get on Facebook.
Yeah, we don't need Facebook
Infinity Auto Insurance.
unless you want to Facebook Live us and be like, hey.
You know, I'm going to my email. Why
be a star.
I think it come to my email. I just paid it.
It's also going to be about time for you to get a new license.
Yeah, I know I get all that stuff straight now. I've been so busy, man.
Right? No,
I got to take a day off.
I feel you. Y'all working today?
No.
Okay.
I live
Well, unfortunately, today being your day off, everything else is closed too. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, very nice. I paid it already.
Awesome. All right. Mr. Rudolph,
Yes, sir.
is there any reason why there would be a faint of coming out of your vehicle? Do you smoke? Do you have any friends that smoke? Anything like that?
No, sir. Just black and mild. Probably it's black and mild smoke. Just black and mild.
No, I know the difference between black and mild smoke and this and that. Do you have any in the car?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there's no in the car at all? Okay. And do you have a Florida health card that allows you to smoke medical?
No, sir.
No?
Just
Okay.
black and mild. I left on.
What's that?
Just left the Walmart up on.
Okay. Yeah, I did too. I had to go to the bathroom, something fierce.
Oh, that was you I seen back then. I just rolled through there.
You see me go in there, go to the bathroom, come back out.
Okay, I just rolled through and dropped the chick off at work in there. Yeah, okay. I seen the car back then, but I don't know. I was thinking that first thing in the morning.
All right. Can you do me a favor and just shut the car off for me?
Okay. What happened, sir?
Huh? Well, I smell, and you don't have a card, so I'm not. Listen. I'm not concerned with some personal use stuff, man. It doesn't even warrant my time.
Black and mild. I'm smoking a black and mild.
Okay, interesting. Very, very interesting stuff. Psychological perspective stuff, police observation stuff. Very interesting. Let's talk about shutting a vehicle off. I did not hear that the vehicle was on, did not know it was on. Normal police practice during a car stop is that you have the person turn off the vehicle. But at this point, he asked the driver to turn off the vehicle, and the body language changed very, very quickly. The person who seemed like he was very, very yes person became very animated and almost in an agitated state and didn't turn the vehicle off. That is definitely a huge concern.
Would you mind shutting the car off, please? Huh?
I'm smoking a black one.
And just shut the car off for me, please. Okay? All right. 2513 somehow. Step him up, please.
Okay, so now the officer has now asked him to step up the unit that's coming back up, which leads me to believe that I was correct, that was a request for a secondary unit. That unit is likely going to roll code, lights, and siren. When you ask someone to step it up, they're going to get there, no detours. I believe this is the third or fourth request to turn a vehicle off, and he has not complied. That said, sender, receiver, message, turn the vehicle off, not turning vehicle off, which means likely the next thing is I'm going to get mobile. Very, very dangerous moment.
It's no big deal. I mean, I'm not.
You gonna
like
tell
I
me
said,
from over? Hey. Bro,
listen. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. I'm telling you right now.
I'm telling you right now. Stop. 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 Put it in park. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your freaking hands up. Let me know you're just trying to take off with me. Step them up now. Sir, I'm telling you. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. I swear to God. Put your hands up. You put it in park. Sir.
Okay, I don't know if you caught that, but the officer ended up discharging out his firearm, I believe, 3 times at the subject while he was in the car. The other view of this is incredibly interesting.
2513 somehow. Step him up, please. It's no big deal. I mean, I'm not.
You gonna
like
tell
I
me
said,
from over? Bro,
listen. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. I'm telling you right now.
I'm telling you right now. Stop. 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 Put it in park. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your freaking hands up. Let me know you're just trying to take off with me. Step them up now. Sir, I'm telling you. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. I swear to God. Put your hands up. You put it in park. Sir.
Okay, really, really incredible to see that. So I want to go over that segment again. I want to watch that again. When he hears him say step him up, he knows that the other unit's not there yet, and that's when it looks like he decides to put the vehicle in drive. Okay, so here I want to showcase something very, very interesting. This is training firearm, training plastic tip. I mentioned keeping the finger outside of the trigger guard and not on the trigger. This is an incredibly challenging situation for the officer to be in here on gun on this subject while the vehicle goes into motion. The other thing is the officer ends up getting on the radio, but it's a lapel mic, and he tells dispatch what's going on. So look at this finger here. I've talked about this sympathetic reflex before, where a person goes to do this and they do that. Sympathetic reflex is a real thing, and on a moving car in such a high stressful situation, that is a huge concern. So from the other side, from the dash cam, there are some things that I definitely want to discuss, because we have these situations where officers engage moving vehicles. Are they standing on the running board? Most times not, but this is an incredibly interesting thing to learn from here. So here we see something incredibly interesting. The officer steps up onto the running board and he goes to retrieve his firearm, and it looks like he's reaching for another tool and he just doesn't necessarily get to his firearm. Then he looks down and then he retrieves his firearm and he's able to get onto the suspect as the vehicle is taken off. Now there's some things to discuss about this. There are 2 very distinct schools here. One is disengage, and some people are going to say, hey, I'm right there, I'm going to grab the person. He chose to do this school, which was I'm on the floorboard, I'm going to take this person into custody, and he's on gun with the person. Now he's on the floorboard, he's committed because the guy takes off. As time progresses, the school of disengagement argument becomes bigger and bigger. And I'm here to just share with you the two schools of thought. Now, there is something called officer-induced jeopardy, where an officer is not to place themselves in any degree of jeopardy to where they have to escalate to the use of force. And I'm not suggesting that that's what happened here. I am very cautious when I review a body cam video, and that's the only thing. You hear me talking very frequently about the drill of closing your eyes and reaching around for your tools. What can happen is, even if you know where your tools are, if your body's contorted in a very strange manner where something normally is, it might not be there. Something to take into consideration, because the whole thing with Murphy's Law and policing, Murphy's on scene. We see that the suspect made a hard right turn and threw the officer from the vehicle as he's hanging on. I don't know the rate of speed that they were going, but there are cars coming. I mean, an incredibly dangerous situation, which leads one to say, is disengagement under that circumstance a better option? I wasn't there. I'm 72 degrees here inside this room talking to you on YouTube, but I can say that there are definitely two schools of thought under the circumstances. It looks like there's a citizen helping the officer way down there at the end. So 2 units arrived within about a minute of when everything went south, and they're attending to the officer, which is what would be prudent under circumstance, and broadcasting description, direction of travel, and everything that they get from the officer or the witnesses about the suspect. Incredibly harrowing thing to watch. It gets my heart rate up just to watch something like that. This is from the sheriff of Seminole County. Deputy Blass pulled over 38-year-old Rocky M. Rudolph Jr. on suspicion of illegal window tint in his SUV. The deputy smelled an odor of coming from the vehicle. Randolph became irate. Blast drew his service weapon. These are things that we saw. We couldn't smell the green stuff. As the vehicle took off, the deputy then fired his service weapon in an attempt to avoid being seriously injured as the vehicle accelerated onto the I-4 westbound on-ramp into traffic, further endangering the deputy's life. He was thrown to the ground, transported to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, and later released. Randolph abandoned the SUV and ran from the area. An hours-long search involving multiple jurisdictions. He was located in a vehicle driven by a family member and taken into custody. He suffered a gunshot wound to the leg and he recovered. Upon release, he was booked on multiple charges, including attempted murder of a law enforcement officer. So he was sentenced on February 14th, 2024, 30 years, habitual offender. There was a stolen firearm found inside of the vehicle, and he has to pay $7,200 in restitution to the deputy. Interestingly enough, it was a 3-day trial. They came back with a verdict of attempted manslaughter by act rather than the initial attempted murder charge. Absolutely harrowing type of situation to watch. And again, it gives new young aspiring officers the vision to say, if I'm in this situation, what option am I going to potentially take? Because that could have ended way, way worse for both of them. So driver is in prison, and hopefully this deputy made a speedy recovery and is back on duty, which I believe that one of the stories says that he is. So I want to go over today's coin. I didn't have it up for the recording, but I am definitely going to show this one because this is another really, really cool one from my Marine brothers here. This is really cool because this is a unit that I didn't know much about. The Marine Corps Operational Test and Evaluation Activity, MCOTEA, forged in trials, proven in battle with the Bulldog. Very, very cool looking coin. Very, very cool looking coin. Challenge coins. I am so pleased that I'm receiving all these, and I am humbled by all of the responses. Put it on this way. Please, if you decide to send me a challenge coin, just go right through the email and just mention if you want your name mentioned or not. Another thing I like to mention is a lot of people have been sending me emails asking questions about a lot of different things about me. There's so much content for me to do, and I've been really focused on posting every day. I want to make sure that I continue to do that, but there's going to be a live Q&A where you can ask me any kind of questions that you want. We've been over 500,000 subscribers, and I think that it's time that I do something like that. So get your questions ready if you're interested in anything like that, and any ideas that you might have for the channel, please send them out. If you like this kind of content, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click on the video that's on your screen for more content just like this.